Oh boy, this is Christina with Black Tea News, and today we're going to talk about Candace Owens versus Cardi B part 2, which is pretty glorious. So before you jump into it, please go to blacktnews.com, check out other content that I have, which actually I just posted an article today about Candace, sort of about the impact she had. I started writing it before all this dropped. Please check out other content, other places where I am on other platforms. Please check out our store. I know you got the steamy money, so go ahead and buy something. If you want to support what I'm doing, go ahead and go to the website and donate. You can do that there, or you can follow that link right there. Appreciate everything that you guys do. You guys are awesome. Please like, share, subscribe, follow all the stuff for Black Tea, do all the things. Okay, so anyway, Candace Owens and Cardi B have dusted up in the past. They got into it during the campaign season, and it ended with Cardi B crying. Now I'm a little confused because I thought that rappers are supposed to have some street cred, and crying on Instagram about Candace Owens, I would assume that's a good way to lose that credibility, but Candace Owens took the home advantage that time, and she also has won out again. So this time around, it's because of course, because Cardi B's performance at the Grammys. Mind you, this is the Grammys. It's not the BET Awards. It's not the VMAs. It's the Grammys, right? And so she did a pretty risque, trashy, morally degenerate sort of performance, and with her also just awful song that I'm only aware of because Ben Shapiro remix he talked about on a show. And so she went on Fox News to commentate, to talk about it, because FYI, Candace is a commentator, and she talked about how basically these sort of things are leading to the decay of our society. And it's not necessarily just solely critiqued on Cardi B, but the sort of stuff that she does and the sort of stuff that people participate in that's around her. Cardi B just started talking trash about Candace Owens, said things that were like really bizarre. Like she was talking about how her and her white husband, and how she makes sandwiches for him, implying that some kind of, I don't know, self-hatred and white supremacy on Candace's part, which Candace is like, why do you keep mentioning my husband is white? It's not a big deal. I love making my husband sandwiches because I like taking care of him. But then Candace had a great clap back, and she's like, you talking about me as a servant to white people. Who do you figuratively spread your legs for? You know, these white executives and so on. So very good clap back from Candace Owens. And it went on. And so Cardi B eventually posted a fake tweet of Candace talking about how her husband cheated on her with her brother, and that they would not let her join in. So it's evolved from all these dumb opinions to just straight up posting this lie, this really bizarre lie. Like, why would Candace tweet out something about her husband being in a homosexual relationship with her brother? So it's an affair, and then it's also an incestuous relationship but she's not even worthy of the incestuous relationship. That's not anything that most people would brag about in any kind of way. So Candace laughs at it and says this is obviously fake. And Cardi B pushes back on it. She doubles down, says this isn't fake. I saw when it trended or whatever, and it was in blogs. And so she's posting screen caps of blogs. First of all, if this was real and this was real news, Candace Owens is big enough that it would be in regular news sites, or at least like normal leftist pages like Vox or something, not some kind of off the beaten path blog. So she doubles down on it, and Candace she's like, you know what? My brother's a private citizen. I take my family pretty seriously. You're a moron, but I'm still going to teach you a lesson and sue you for defamation. And so she said other things that they clapped back hard on. Candace Owens really took the win on this one again. I don't know what kind of people Cardi B has around her, but she needs some smarter and better friends. I don't know why they keep allowing this to happen. There's people talking about the situation, saying things like, hey, Candace is, just riding the coattails of Cardi B, and actually Cardi B said that too. Cardi B is not going to give her as much fame as like Kanye West did, or Trump can, or anything like that. It's a nice boost of publicity on a weekend where she's hosting, launching a new show for sure. But she doesn't really need Cardi B. she'll use Cardi B, don't get me wrong, but she doesn't need Cardi B. And Cardi B would definitely be better off not talking about Candace Owens. Now, why did she comment on Cardi B? Because she's a commentator. She's a conservative commentator. And that's what they do. People were talking about the Grammys. I didn't watch it, but I've seen not clips, I guess more like pictures and stuff. I haven't watched any clips. And Candace says she didn't actually watch the clip. She did watch the performance. She just watched a clip of it, and that's enough. And people comment about how it affects society, what it says about society, and where do we go from here. And so it's a topic of discussion and conversation. So she talked about it, but Cardi B and her had beef in the past, so maybe Cardi just couldn't deal with it. And I don't really understand her going back at her again. Maybe because she just lost so badly last time. She thought maybe good to clap back or maybe because she is just really sensitive. I mean, when she was crying about Candace and how she, like, you know, they're going back and forth. I mean, she was like, you don't understand, some of these Trumpers are really famous. And that's what Cardi B admitted. Some of these people are really famous and they have a following. And she was complaining because basically Candace, not just Candace, but her following was coming after her. So obviously Cardi B is someone who can dish it but can't take it. Why did she go on Fox News to talk about this discussion? They probably were looking for someone, and Candace is doing, like you do, like press junkets when you're saying, hey, I'm doing this project and can I get on networks or whatever. And that's just how things operate. So it was great timing. I will say that. But I will say, if Cardi B thinks that she's just bringing like a slew of people who know her, who are just going to go to like Candace and stuff, I don't think her demographic is really the same. And it could, if it does lead to more subscriptions with the Daily Wire, because it's not free, you have to pay for it. I would say it's just because people are like, oh, she got her good. I'm going to high five Candace with this, you know, pay, because I'm glad that she did X and Y and Z. And perhaps that's enough. I'm sure they're getting a bump and that they're happy about this publicity. Now this whole like defamation thing, some people are like, free speech. Cardi B was practicing her free speech. Yeah, free speech is great and we appreciate it, and she stands for it and is advocate for it. But you do have to understand that if you say things that are slanderous or untrue, you can be held accountable for that. She was told it wasn't true. She doubled down on it and passed it around. You know, Candace is going to do what Candace is going to do. Is she really going to go through with it? This woman is suing Facebook. I don't think she's afraid of Cardi B. And just because Cardi B is a leftist with money does not mean that she will win. And it could be likely that maybe she will have to pay Candace Owens, which will be like the ultimate clapback, but we will see where that goes. Now, I will say there's something very telling about Cardi B and her fans believing this lie about Candace Owens in this tweet. What I would say it means is two things. One, you're so bound by confirmation bias that you cannot see like reality staring you right in the face. Like when I see something like it's a tweet or something and it's like particularly dumb or something, and people attribute to AOC or Joe Biden, even though if it might sound a little bit like them, I'm like, I got to see if this is true before I like start spreading this around. Now, I'm not going to say I'm always 100% perfect on it, but I try to live by that rule. Try not to be so blind by your own bias that you just put yourself in compromising positions. Her and a lot of her fans, because I was reading comments under her post and people were just 100% convinced that this is true. 100% convinced. Even though in reality, if you're like a normal person, it would just seem odd that someone would brag about their husband cheating on them with their brother and not letting them in. It just seems like a thing that people wouldn't talk about. So the fact that people dislike Candace so much that they are willing to stand on this being real. I mean, not even just the fact that it happened, but the fact that Candace would have had to tweet it out herself. That's insane. That's insane. And people knew it was fake because it said tweet activity, which you see if it's your tweet. So that would have to mean that she was the one who posted it and then screenshot it and then I guess sent it around. That's dumb. It's really dumb. I can't believe people believe that. You guys got to think a little harder. And the second thing I would say is your life is so ghetto ratchet that you would just believe this, that this is in the realm of possibility, that this can't possibly not be a real thing because hey, that's my reality. I could totally believe something like this would happen because that's just how things are. And maybe it's easy to believe for Cardi B because her husband has cheated on her. That's what she's talked about. and maybe she's been in obviously sexually compromising situations and stuff that are just, degenerate. So maybe this wasn't like so far-fetched to her and her fans that were just had to stand on this being absolutely true. And some of them, like, after like convincing from people, they're like, oh man, it's not true, like sad face. And it's like, you should be sad that you're dumb. That says a lot about how awful society is. So the fact that this is your reality and that's your worldview and it's easily acceptable, dear God, help them. Candace Owens also clapped back at her on Instagram, doing it like an Instagram live, just talking about the situation. And she was pretty haughty when she addressed it, and she said that, basically Cardi B has a hole in her life and she's really come after people like me because she desires what I have and because she's not happy and there's a hole in her, like kind of stuff like that. And so haughty because, it was haughty. I would say that there's probably truth to that. And that's why, she was probably so hurt when Candace went for her before, when she was trying to talk some about politics or going to get in that realm. And obviously she doesn't have the best well thought out positions on stuff. And Candace blasted her saying like, they didn't use you, like they didn't have you interview Biden because they thought you were smart. You were going to challenge them. They used you and your fans. If you're someone who wants to kind of have more influence than like this shallow, dressing like a hooker and doing like lesbian sex on stage, then that's kind of maybe hurtful. But that is your reality. And as long as you do keep dressing up like a lesbian hooker having sex on stage, you're not going to be a serious person. So Cardi B, if you are unfulfilled and have that hole in your heart, which I guess I would wager, I pray that you find what you need to get to a better place. But dressing like a lesbian stripper doing sex on stage at the Grammys, not Pornhub, the Grammys, is not the way. It's just not the way. So we got to do better, society. We got to do better. But she got wrecked. Like I said, she needs better friends. She needs better publicists. She needs better PR. Like people would just say, please stop, don't do this. Instead of people who were kind of egging her on, because she just got thrashed, and she got thrashed before. And I mean, apparently she's more sensitive than she lets on. And Candace has created skin of like adamantium, and which I heard her say to Michael Knowles, like, where do you go after people accuse you of being responsible for a mass shooting? Like, like what other worse thing can people possibly say about you? So that's one reason why she is uncancelable, is what they are saying. And why she's the star that she is on the right, and why she can infuriate the left. And people like Cardi B can't tear her down. It's just going to keep raising her profile, which she's like happy that Cardi B is doing. But like I said, she doesn't need Cardi B to make her famous. She's already been there, done that. So what do you guys think about this whole ordeal and the clapbacks and all that good stuff? Go ahead and leave comments. Make sure that you share, like, subscribe, follow. I'll do all the things. Go to blacktnews.com, check out other content that I have, read articles, and see where I am on other social medias. And also make sure that you check out our merchandise in the store. Find something that you will love and send something to someone that you love. Use that stimmy money. I know you got it. And then also, if you would like to support, I would appreciate if you would be a supporter and partner with me. And I appreciate everything that you guys do. And I'll see you guys next time.